Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to start trying to disassemble the corn planter. After some more late nights and research, I ruled out that this is not an early John Deere. I'm leaning more towards an International Harvester, but I haven't found anything that just jumps out and says, this is what I am. Maybe somebody on here can tell me. Like, here's one of the casting numbers on the front here. Other than that, there's really no other casting markings. Maybe some here on the check system. There's really not much that really just says this is what it is, but until I find out for sure, I really don't want to name what it is yet, because I honestly just don't know. I took the time and put the disc back on it, set the cans up there to kind of get an idea of what this thing's going to look like. I don't have the lids, and if I'm not able to find out exactly what this is, I might make some lids, some custom lids with my name on it or something. So, but without anything else, let's start tearing this thing apart. All right, what we have here is we have our distributors taken off. They're a little bit froze up. Yesterday I was able to get them somewhat to spin freely, but I went ahead and took them off so I can clean them up and get them ready, and also put the cans on. So we'll jump into that. All right, we got one of the distributors here in the vise. I'm gonna go ahead and get these bolts loose that holds onto the can, what's left of the original cans. We'll get that off and start marking the new cans and see where they're gonna go. I'm going to slowly work it, that way I don't break it off. I want to use as much of the original stuff as I can. Looks like it's going to come right on off. Voila. There's the old piece of can. Trick, put the nut, that way you don't damage the threads. You put the nut back on just before it gets all the way to the threads. And there we go. So now this should come right on off. There we go. Go ahead and put that nut back on it, that way I don't lose it. Let's flip this over. Do the same thing with the other side. Not going to put it in the vise very tight, just enough to kind of put a little bit of tension, because I don't want to break the castings. Give a little shot of oil. Grab our wrench. Get it seated. Well, looks like this one, we didn't get so lucky on this one. This one here is wanting to spin. So, this off. Take this up. And it's a flathead screwdriver. So, give ourselves a flathead. Maybe I got enough strength to hold it. Wrench back on. Get the screwdriver in there. If there's at any point a break in the video, it's because I had to edit that out because my finger slipped and I said some words that are not appropriate for YouTube. So, just a fair warning. Just don't think that's going to work. Might get some vice grips on it. Which I think is what I'm going to do. I don't feel like bloodying my knuckles today. So, get this. Oop. Get it on there. Tighten up a little more. There we go. We got a good bite. All right, there it broke loose. Now we just got to work it off because however many years it's sitting there, a little bit of rust is built up. Luckily, we don't have to beat this one out because it looks like it's become. Get the pop those loose. Set the nut down before I lose it. These old pieces of can. That there? All right. Now where to put the... Here's the new can. Let's see how it fits. Like a glove. Beautiful. Grab you and let you all see. That is a gorgeous fit. Fits right back down here to the seam. Probably is very nice. Now to drill the holes and mount this new can. All right. We got our holes drilled in the can. There's a seam. We're going to put it to the back. And we're going to see if this is going to fit. Try to line it up the best I can. Take our bolt. Through. Well, first one goes. Stick a nut on it. That way it don't fall out. Right, then line up our second one, and there we go. Go ahead and stick our nut on. Okay. Where is our wrench? That knocked off? Nope, it did not. Untighten this side here. But, all right, as you can see here, our nuts are on. That one there I still need to tighten up, but we're just test fitting it for now because I still got to tear the distributor apart and get it nice and clean. So, on to that. All right, now we got the distributor all tore apart. Got this spring that goes right in here, just setting right here, that way I don't lose it. This, I'm guessing, is what helps make sure only one kernel or two go inside the distributor plate. You can see it's pretty dirty. Not sure if that's a 6 or a 9. Oh, maybe a 76. I don't know where that hole is. Well, maybe there's another number right there. But that hole kind of blocks it. So it's something 76, I believe, for this plate. And that plate is removable, but it's pretty well growed in there, so I don't really want to mess with it unless I have to. It's a 3-piece. So here's what it looks like all tore apart. I'm gonna clean it up off camera and kind of put it back, and we'll put it back together whenever I get finished. All right, well, we're pretty well done cleaning. A few more. And I think it's about time to put this back together. That way it'll be ready to go back on the planter. All right, so now to remember how this goes back together. This piece here goes, this little spring in here. And this little guy goes in here just like, wiggle him in there. Oh, gotta go. That's gotta go in a certain way. There we go. And that right there springs. And this spring has to go there. That's gonna go up and under. Screwdriver. Hold this spring back. Get that seated back in there. There we go. Now that should work just like it's supposed to. Awesome. Okay. That goes this way. Like that. This right here. And this go right there. As I was doing some cleaning, I'm not sure if you can see, but this was red. I found some original paint here. It looks like this was red and possibly this gear was green. So I'm not sure if that helps maybe anybody on determining what this is based off the color paint, but from my understanding, even John Deere early would have been red as well, red with yellow wheels, and just a hint of green, not what they have today or what we think when you think John Deere is green and yellow. Well, early, they were red and yellow with a little bit of green, and then they phased out red because International Harvester, and you can't be the same color as your biggest rival. So now I need to find that nut. Ah, there it is. It goes right here on the bottom of this. Take our 9/16 and just snug that up. And this should freely spin. And with a little bit of oil and a few times around, it should free itself up. A little better. Oh, there we go. Just had to readjust, not having all that rust and dirt in there. It was a lot better. Which I think will get better with a little bit more oil and time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and flip this back over and kind of slightly clamp this in a vise. I'm going to put the can on it. Take our screws back loose. Set these here. All right, there's our seam. Find the seam. There it is. Put it towards the back. And the seam doesn't have to go towards the back. I just want it to go towards the back just because I feel like that's going to give it a little bit cleaner of an appearance. Because if this planter does actually work, like I hope it does. Oh, see it right there. Not sure if you can see a little bit of red. So these were red at one point in time. But before I squirreled there, if this does work, after I get my corn planted, I do plan to take this all back apart and paint it. Now, I know that is kind of a touchy subject with some people that do a lot of restorations and stuff. The big question is, do I restore it? Do I paint it? Do I not paint it? People say it's only original once. And where that is true, I feel like that only really applies to stuff that's still has original paint that's visible. If it is just rusty and no visible paint, you can't see the original stenciling or decals or anything like that would have been on it. If none of that is there, I think it needs to be stripped down and painted. And some people do actually enjoy that look, that rusty, fresh from the field, or from the fence row look. And not trying to discredit that or say that sucks, but to me, maybe that's not in your budget to fully restore and paint. I mean, because it gets expensive fast. It really does. And I'm learning that with this 28D. Just pricing paint. I haven't even bought any paint yet. And just to see just how much it is ridiculous. But we're going to try that. And, well, there we are. There's one distributor and can put back together, ready to go back on the planter. So I'll go ahead and do the other one, and then we'll put them back on. All right, I got the cans back and the distributors back on the planter. I think that's going to finish it off for today. Next step is start to get the tongue ready. I unfortunately do not have the chain, which I have some found. I just need to get it ordered, and hopefully then I'll be able to piece together the next video. I don't know if that's going to be in the next week or two, but there will be another video coming up here in the near future on this planter. I'd like to thank you all for watching and see y'all in the next one.